Welcome to the Blind Apex Podcast first bonus episode. What I'd like to do is do some event wrap-ups for myself, just give you guys a little quick background on my event, how it went, and what my plans are so you can see the methodology. Or, like this one, it's going to be an excerpt from a podcast that didn't make it into the main podcast, but still has some good meat. So, here you go. Here's our first one.
Welcome to the Blind Apex Podcast, where amateur club racers tune in to get faster.
This bonus episode is brought to you by DeechWorks Fuel Systems. Visit DeechWorks.com to fuel your passion. If you want to support the podcast, share it with friends, or go to buymeacoffee.com/theblindapexpodcast. Now back to the bonus episode.
Oh, we didn't get to talk about Motec GPRP Pro.
Oh, yeah, let's talk about that because, well, one, you requested it, but it made that Lotus do some gnarly, at least sounds. I think it was hard in the video to really see what it was doing, but let's talk about the Motec GPRP.
So it's GPRP Pro, which is a different package, and it's torque based. So my understanding is they developed it to run the GTRs with the OEM transmission, because that transmission you need to like turn the torque down to a certain amount to change gears and then turn the torque back up. So they had to develop that whole strategy themselves. I guess like Mtron and Link have been tuning like this for a while, but it's new to Motec. And so the way that that's important to us is that when we sent a driver out for the car, we could just set on the dial how many foot-pounds of torque the car was going to make that session. And it would only make up to that much, and then it would use the boost control, timing, and throttle position to turn the car back down. So when you can see in the video of our fast lap, there's a couple times where it comes into play. One is when he's in third gear, you'll hear the car going like woof, 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 woof. And that's the throttle closing to keep the torque at, I think it was set for 750 Newton meters, so like 650 foot-pounds or so in third gear, because any more than that, he was just spinning the tires constantly. And then the most important thing it does is it's watching the vertical, lateral G's. It knows what the aero load you've put into it is, and it knows how stiff the tires is, because you've got a dial on your steering wheel that you turn up or down for. It's like the fudge factor of the whole system, but it's the tire friction coefficient. And like when you go over turn 10 at Coda and the car gets light, as the car gets light, it turns the power from 1,000 foot-pounds down to whatever you want it. We actually had it set too low at first. It was going down to like 100 foot-pounds at the crank. We set the minimum to be like 400 at the crank at the end of the weekend. But you can see the power turn down and then back up again as he leaves the turn 10. And we don't even have a traction event there. So it was working too well, where it was probably cutting the power just a little bit too much, and there was no wheel spin at all. So we were barely getting into any ignition cut wheel spin that whole weekend, just because the car was able to predict what's the right amount of grip for right now. Give me that amount of grip by closing the butterflies, closing or turning down the boost control a little bit, retarding the ignition. And it's unbelievable that you could put somebody in that car that can make 1,000 horsepower, turn the dial down a little bit, and tell them to go wild, drive the car as hard as you want, and they won't spin the car. Like Callan never spun the car while he was learning until he was trying to brake in the rain with the ABS disabled.
So, okay. So is it a standalone? How does it live in the Motec ecosystem?
So,
can it be done by itself?
You can add that to any any of the M1 ECUs. You can upgrade the package to the Pro package. You do need to retune the car after, because so many of the tables change the way they interact with each other. It's honestly a big learning jump to jump into that, because now there's a lot of things that before, when you were tuning the car, the throttle area, did it matter that much what the throttle area was? Not really, because the car is really only looking at the VE table. But now the throttle area is so important, because when you move the pedal, you command a torque. So it needs to know how much to open the throttle to get that much air to make that much torque. And there's a bunch of time doing that, a bunch of time teaching it how much ignition retard affects the torque, how much closing the throttle affects the torque, how much changing the boost affects it. Teaching it what the internal loss corrections are. And so it's not for the faint of heart, but the results kind of speak for themselves. Like that, if you've watched the lap of Callan doing the 10.3, that was about his 8th lap ever. And he doesn't have any experience driving a fast car at COTA. The fastest he'd ever gone before was like a 23 in a Corvette, and Corvettes are easy to drive. And so it's obviously really
I know
effective.
they're the new Miata.
Yeah. I mean, if the engines didn't blow up for no reason that we can't understand, they'd be like, I'd own 6 of them and rent them out and stuff. They're just awesome track cars.
Yeah, for sure. So, okay. So are you guys, is FastX somebody people can go to for the Motec GPRP Pro?
Yeah. I've got
and even get programming and stuff.
Yeah, I've got 2 cars set up on GPRP Pro now. I'd be surprised if there was like 10 other shops in the US that have done more than one. And yeah, I'd love to do more of these, or help anybody with any project where they're trying to win something.
Until next time, keep working on yourself, keep working on the car, and let's get faster.